I'm Julie Robinson. I'm an Army veteran. I play rugby league for the Australian Jillaroos, the Brisbane Broncos and the Maroons. My career in the Defence Force was a little bit different. I enlisted in 2017 and my first posting was up in Townsville in 2018, and I started playing rugby league for the Defence Force, and I guess my career kind of went in a different path, and I was lucky enough how supportive the ADF was of my footy career when I signed for the Brisbane Broncos. I guess I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for the Defence Force. I think about the values of hard work, discipline, resilience, teamwork. Those are all the things I live by, and it kind of works in both my worlds, in defence and in rugby league. What mateship means to me is you have each other's back in any circumstances. I feel like when you know you have someone that's just like backing you in whatever decision you're making and just always there for you is just so important. I guess when you're in the Army or Defence Force, that's what you live by. It's like your mateship, your community, and I feel like some people can feel lost without that when they leave the Defence Force. So it's really cool that the RSL branches and community can, I guess, give that support post-defence. I feel very fortunate to be able to represent both Australia in rugby league and obviously serving as a defence member. It has so much meaning to me, to my family as well, and being able to wear the green and gold jersey with the coat of arm and being able to put that Australian Army uniform on is pretty cool. So being able to do both those, yeah, I feel very lucky. I always had that dream when I was growing up to be like a professional athlete, and I didn't know what it was going to be. I didn't know if it was going to be netball. I didn't think it was going to be rugby league. But now it's so cool that I get to go, I guess, play in front of thousands of people and then go around and sign like autographs to young girls and young boys and say that they want to be like me when they're older. So yeah, it's really special and I'll never take it for granted. I just want to keep getting bigger and better in anything I do. I feel like there's never that finish line. Yeah, I feel like for me, I just want to keep developing myself as a person, as a player, and just try and be the better version of myself.